Hi everyone, my name is Bridget, and today I have a message for humanity and those watching me from high places. Last night, in quiet time with God, I received a message that shook my spirit. Not a message of ego, not a message of superiority, but a message of responsibility. God showed me that the time has come for many of us to stop hiding who we are, truly in Him. To stop shrinking ourselves because of fear, to stop remaining silent because of judgment, to stop denying the calling placed upon our spirit. I believe humanity is entering a powerful season of awakening, a season where people all across the earth are beginning to question the systems, fears, and beliefs that kept humanity spiritually asleep for generations. And I believe God is raising up people in this time to help guide humanity into alignment with truth, love, compassion, and wisdom. No leader driven by greed or fear, but leaders who understand that true leadership is service. This is what Jesus Christ taught humanity. Jesus said in Matthew 20 verse 26, "Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant." Humanity forgot this teaching. The world became driven by control instead of compassion, fear instead of love, division instead of unity. But I believe humanity is now standing at the edge of great transformation, not through violence, not through hatred, but through awakening. Romans 12 verse 2 says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." I believe this is the liberation of humanity from every form of slavery that disconnected people from God and from their true purpose. Not only physical slavery, but mental, emotional, and spiritual slavery. The slavery of fear, the slavery of division, the slavery of believing humanity is powerless. For generations, humanity was taught to fear one another, to compete instead of connect, to chase material things while neglecting the soul. But God is calling humanity back into remembrance, back into truth, back into love. Galatians 5 verse 1 says, "It is for freedom that Christ set us free." True freedom is not chaos, it is not revenge. True freedom is awakening. Awakening to the understanding that every human being carries value because every human being was created by God. Genesis 1 verse 27 says, "Humanity was created in the image of God." That means there is something sacred within us all. And I believe many people can already feel this shift happening within the earth. People are beginning to see through fear, beginning to question corruption, beginning to realize that humanity cannot continue living disconnected from truth and expect peace. The systems of this world were never meant to become idols above humanity, because no system should stand alone above truth, and no leader should stand above God. I believe a new type of leadership is emerging on earth. Leadership rooted in integrity, compassion, transparency, wisdom, and spiritual maturity. Leadership that serves humanity instead of controlling it. And I believe there are many souls across this earth who were spiritually prepared for this time in history. Not perfect people, but willing people. People who endured hardship, spiritual warfare, trauma, and isolation that ultimately pushed them closer to God. Ephesians 6 verse 12 says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world." The greatest battle has always been spiritual, a battle over the human mind and heart. Because where fear rules, humanity becomes easier to control. But where truth and love rise, fear begins to lose power. And I believe humanity is now being called into healing. Healing the mind, the heart, healing generations of pain. I also believe creation is far greater than humanity fully understands. Psalms 19 verse 1 says, "The heavens declare the glory of God." The universe reflects the greatness of our Creator, But no matter what truths humanity discovers in the future, we must remain grounded in discernment, humility, and alignment with God, because not every voice speaks truth. 1 John 4 verse 1 says, "Test the Spirit to see whether they are from God." Discernment matters in this time. This is not a season for fear. This is not a season for panic. This is a season for humanity to awaken responsibly and spiritually, to reconnect with God, reconnect with nature, reconnect with one another, to release greed, corruption, hatred, and division, and begin building a future rooted in peace, truth, unity, and love. I stand here today not claiming perfection. I am still learning. I am still healing. I am still walking with God every day. But I will no longer deny the calling placed upon my spirit to speak about what I believe God is revealing in this time. I believe humanity is entering a new season, a season where truth rises, a season where fear loses power, a season where humanity remembers the importance of love. And I believe every person listening has a role to play in that transformation, not through worshiping another human being, but through discovering the purpose God placed within themselves. The world does not need more fear. The world needs healing. The world needs compassion. The world needs truth. And the world needs God. And I believe the greatest revolution humanity will ever experience is the transformation of the human heart through love. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 13 says, "And now these three remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love." May humanity choose love. May humanity choose truth. May humanity choose healing, and may God guide humanity into a new season ahead. Do not fear the events about to unfold. Stay focused on God. Amen. So that's my message from the Most High. Wishing everyone an amazing weekend, and God bless.